Did you know if you're a farmer, you can get your low tunnels paid for by the NRCS? Through a recently launched government program, farmers can get between $4 and $5 per square foot in reimbursement towards a Quick Hoops low tunnel system. That's free money to help increase production on your farm. Learn more about Quick Hoops and the NRCS program at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below. The co-op model is the way I think small farms play in the big food landscape. You know, I've talked to growers growing thousands of acres of lettuce and very familiar with how they deal into the big distribution system that shows up in the big box stores. Well, if you're a small farm, how do you get into a big box store? You have to band with other small farms to become a larger entity, which the big box stores will even look at or consider dealing with. And they know a classic example of that is Organic Valley here in the States. They started as farmers that banded together around, I believe, dairy and came together, and now it's $1 billion company that's a co-op made up of its members. And that's totally possible, I think, for a lot of farms to go out and do that. But that's kind of a daunting task of like, hey, all these farms are going to come together to be a co-op. It's, you know, we're all trying to run our own businesses at the same time. Now we're going to run this second aggregation business on the side, where the aggregation model, where you have a platform and you can come together and aggregate. Suddenly now, okay, well, we don't have to build necessarily a huge business. We can aggregate on this platform. All our farms sell into this platform, and then we can all promote this greater platform. Might not get you into a big box store, but it might get you into local chains, regional chains, that type of thing. And I love that model. And we've talked to farmers who have came together as a hub to do that through like an online farmers market, through just single players. You know, one person says, hey, I want to be the hub manager. I'm going to go buy from all these farms. I'm going to sell it out to the public. I'll promote it. And, you know, Local Alliance provided the software to enable these farms to plug in their inventory and do that. Is that the direction here? Like, am I reading this right? Is you guys give small farms a place to come together to potentially reach a larger audience?
I think that's it. I think that has to be it. And the small farm can come to Local Line and they can choose to sell on their own. This is a big part of what we do today. They can have their own website or their own, online store on their website. They can have their website through Local Line or through somebody else, and they can sell to their own customers, run their own CSA, you know, what have you. But the unlock is removing the friction from the supply chain. And the friction today is a result of like lack of communication, difficult to coordinate with neighbors, difficult to understand who's out there, who's buying in what quantities, why, how do I get a piece of that? And it's just simple communication workflows that I feel like we're uniquely positioned to help remove. So if we can remove the friction from the supply chain, we can do exactly as you're suggesting. I think that we can create an environment for the farm to come in and pick multiple directions if they'd like. They can have their own, they can go through a co-op, they can go through a hub, they can go through a distributor, they can go direct. I think that giving them that optionality is extremely important. And I think that there's really important work to be done to now bring in other parts of the demand in the ecosystem. How do we help, like we said, make local food accessible and being able to use a technology to buy from many farms instead of having to go buy from one, buy from one, buy from one, buy from one, buy from one. You got to find them. It's completely different. So I think what you're saying is correct, and that's certainly what we get excited about building at Local.
Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is your source for time and labor-saving farm tools, such as the PaperPot Transplanter, Quick Click Seeder, and the Jang Direct Seeder. Turn laborsome tasks into free time with tools by Modern Grower.